Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cleveland Browns. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they will be led out by their 6'3 quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Throwing on first down, Morris. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. They tried well on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Morris looking to throw on second down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Looking to throw. Morris. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave what game plan? I think it's pretty obvious that that'll help them win.
Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. He'll look to throw. That's caught inside the 20. Give him 30 yards there. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back, trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. They'll look to throw. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
They can't stop us. They cannot hold us down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13. And a look now at the starting offense for the Browns.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. From 4 yards out, and the Browns have taken the lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him, because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
And a pause in the action because in the booth, they see something that they want to take another kick. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
And to give this time to the tailback. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Morris now to throw on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. The 20. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape, because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get a timeout here, as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Now Morris looking to throw on 2nd down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offensive summit.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Forced out to his left. He'll try and run it. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. On 3rd down, Pitts. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
Here we go.
That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the 1st. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 36 yards on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. And between the last 2 plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Ready.
They'll try to run this one in. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns have retaken the lead.
Well, we got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people and power his way forward.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. There have been points on the board. We just saw back-to-back touchdown drives. I love it. I'm high-fiving our statistician, Christian McLeod, and you're angry. You're a defensive guy.
If you met one of my defensive coordinators, God rest his soul, I'm surprised he isn't in this booth right now wanting to really take you on. This is not football the way he sees it. He wants a good old-fashioned kicking game, defense, field position, and we're getting an up-and-down-the-field game here.
I'll take him. Where's his tombstone?
Boot Hill, baby.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Back to throw. Morris is going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete.
Hey, let's go.
Clock running, and the Seahawks, they're running too, trying to speed up to the line of scrimmage. Now a handoff here to his running back, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. To throw is Morris. Throwing on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's a 2nd and 7. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Morris from the gun on 3rd down. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up.
He's got a man complete. And that one results in 35 yards. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
Now back to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Back to throw here. He's going to air one out. That's going to be caught. A big play there just before halftime. 53 yards. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
We want it. Ready?
He'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. The touchdown all set up by the big play 1 snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? That's you create it with a play.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Point after, up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Let's go! Let's go!
So we are at halftime here. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Browns to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well.
Set, ready? 10-2, sir. Get the ball. Set up.
They'll run on first down. Pitts. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down. They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 43.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Then he'll give it here to his running back. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Now they can't bring him down. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense. Able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
Break. 56. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And that's what he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 2nd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. And to give this time to the tailback. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Ready. Mike 51. Mike 51. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Now.
They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
Let's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. 2nd and 4. is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. And their halftime hold now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction. Yeah,
a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. What happened there? Was that just a missed assignment on the O-line?
It certainly felt like it, but also the speed of the play. When you're talking about defensive end, they want to be ahead of the clock, don't they? They want to be upfield, making plays on every snap. How about his agility there to run that one down?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. It's a foot race. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns.
Good job.
This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw. Morris. It's on set up the screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it?
They've got his man complete. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the third quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here I come. Here I come.
Right back to him on first down. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. On first down, Pitts. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
90, Wolf. Watch time, watch time. Tight end 5.
2nd and 5. Wide open receiver complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 29-yard line. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead. Confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cunningham. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, if there's got to be casualties at times, we're trying to win a game.
I smell fear in that offense.
Morris on 1st and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. 2nd down and inches. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hodges. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Morris now operating from the gun. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk 1st. Back to throw. Morris. And that one incomplete as it breaks a string of 8 straight pass completions. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Morris throwing again. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Looking to throw. Morris. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. From 8 yards out, and the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
So that one a long 11-play drive, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. The This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one has all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got? What you got?
Now a give, right side. Pitts.
Boom! Yeah! Ready. Mike's 56. Hey, watch the screen.
Then he'll give it here to his running back. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Cleveland, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash.
Like that. It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Yeah. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Yeah. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the check calling. Let me click over real quick to let my check talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad. But I'm past that with a NASDAQ. That's cash when the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like, who's that